Arsenal back on top of the table, 5 points clear ahead of Manchester City, 11 clear ahead of Manchester United. That is Arsenal for you, leading this table, and they are trying to fight out the battle. And guess what? According to stats, Arsenal just have to win. Out of the 13 games left, Arsenal just have to win 10 games, with that of City inclusive. They win 10 and they beat Man City, they take the trophy. That's it. They take the trophy. The biggest hurdle is them losing to City. If they win against City at Etihad, better, trophy would have been done and dusted. Even if they draw with City, the gap will be still 5 points in between them if at all they don't go ahead and really lose until the end of April, because towards the end of April, that's when Arsenal is going to be facing City at the Etihad. That means they'll be needing again 10. In the 10 games, if at all they really win, and they win 9, draw 1 with City, 3 games to go, obviously, they'll just need to win only 1 and draw 1. That's it. So, if they draw with City, that means they will need 2 draws and 9 wins. That is Arsenal for you. So, Rokani David is my name. We are here to bring you the player ratings of Arsenal after them beating. Well, this was not even a beating. They battered Everton by 4-0 at the Emirates. Martinelli with the brace. Bukayo Saka on target. Good to see Odegaard back on target, but Trossard was one of those players that you would love to see again and again and again. Not so, he really looked magnificent today, and he's sending a message to Eddie Nketiah that I'm taking your position because I'm looking better, and you are going to start to play off the bench because I'm a better player than you. And it shows you why Arsenal need to go ahead and reinforce that forward line of theirs, because without Jesus, they really looked toothless. Not until Mikel Arteta went in through and really sided with us, who were here, trying to advise him that Trossard should lead the line. Eddie Nketiah should be dropped after missing out on chances against Aston Villa, Brentford, and Man City. So let's get into the player ratings now. Ramsdale pulled out 2 good saves, but the best one was the double save in the 90th minute that helped him keep a clean sheet. He does a double save in the 92nd minute and Arsenal doesn't concede, and obviously the result stays at 4-0 for Arsenal. So I'm giving Ramsdale a 7.5 out of 10 for me. The distribution is one of the things that he has gone ahead to master, and obviously the other bit that he has gone ahead to master and look good at is that sweeping goalkeeper role. He's really great and doing wonders for a side called Arsenal. 7.5 for him. Ben White, not all that exposed today as he was in the game they played away at Goodson Park, trying to look a right back, and he played a very good game today, and I'm giving him a 7 out of 10 for me. That is Ben White. I'm giving Ben White a 7 out of 10 for me. Let's go to the left back. That is Alexander Zinchenko. Played very well, put in an assist. That goal, the 4th goal that they score, it's him that releases Nketiah to go in for that square. Is it a square or was it a cutback? I think that was a square. To go for that square that Martinelli meets at the near post and taps that ball at the back of them to make it 4. Zinchenko Alexandra, to me, he deserves an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. He deserves it. Today, he was everywhere on the pitch. You wouldn't think that he's the left back of Arsenal. You saw? It shows you how sloppy and bad Everton looked on the day, because the left back of Arsenal looked like he had nothing to do in the defensive part of the game, and he just found himself attacking them. So, 8 out of 10 for me for Zinchenko. Gabriel Magalhaes, some good 2 blocks into that beautiful game of football, keeping clean sheets again with Saliba. I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10. Then for Saliba, I'm going to give Saliba a 7 out of 10. I think today Gabriel Magalhaes was so much help for the team of Arsenal than Saliba. He played a very good game, blocking, obviously winning those duels, and obviously looking solid to prevent Everton from the would-be damage onto the final third of Arsenal. So Saliba, 7 out of 10. Gabriel Magalhaes, 7.5 out of 10. Jorginho, my man, 7.5 out of 10 today. He really led the midfield very well until Thomas Partey really came in through because the game was already done. First half 2-0, Partey comes in through. He takes over, but Jorginho, 7.5 out of 10 for me in this game of football. The other player that played the game today, obviously, he goes by the names of Odegaard. Let's first grant Xhaka. To me, today at least Xhaka looked a little bit sharper, but I'm not understanding the decision that Mikel Arteta is making to play Granit Xhaka game in, game out. I think it's time Fabio Vieira came on through, because when he comes through, you look, the passing of Arsenal improves. So I think Mikel Arteta is still afraid to make that change, but I think very soon he's going to make one. He's going to make one immediately because he needs Fabio Vieira in the field of play. If you're having Fabio Vieira, Partey or Jorginho, Odegaard, Trossard, Zinchenko, guys, just know you're going to be having a very good flowing style of football or flowing game of ball. So I'll call for him to be benched sometimes, but I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10 for me. That is Xhaka. Then we go to Martin Odegaard, the captain, finding himself on the score sheet again. It is good to him to sit at the scoring again because his momentum was looking like it was dropping off. Though on his play, this play doesn't change. But every time you are a central attack midfielder and you score goals and put in assists, it makes you a little bit more different. But he's a very beautiful player, and today he just did everything he had to do as Odegaard, and he scored that third goal, assist put in through by a player called Trossard, and it was around the 71st minute before Martinelli completed his brace in the 81st minute. That was like 7 minutes later when Odegaard scored. I'm giving Odegaard an 8 out of 10. He looked good. Bukayo Saka scoring the goal, being a problem to these players, and really looked great. And I credit him for really breaking the dreadlock. That is not something easy, and he broke it in a very good way. He just told Zinchenko the hands that get me that ball, pass it to me, and obviously Zinchenko never let him down, released him good enough. He was onside, right foot into the loop, into the roof of the net. 1-0 for Arsenal. Then Martinelli capitalized it, and even Bukayo Saka had a hand in that because they pressed together, and I think it's Bukayo Saka that really puts the tip of his left boot into that ball, and Martinelli is set free and given green light to go ahead and really score that second goal towards the end of the first half. So I'm giving Bukayo Saka an 8 out of 10. Fantastic player today, and he was taken off for the very first time. They substituted him off because no need of him on the field of play, yet they're really having a game over the weekend, and they're hosting Bournemouth at the stadium of Emirates. That is Saka for you. Now we go to Trossard. If you don't understand the game of football, you won't know the role of Trossard at Arsenal. But we who have known it and really followed him in this game, he comes up with an assist. Remember, in 2 games, 2 assists. He assists for Martinelli in the only goal that gives Arsenal a lead against Leicester, and they win 1-0. Today he comes in through and does the same thing. That is the beauty of having a player with the quality of Trossard. Not selfish. He just does what it will deserve in that particular moment. So he's magnificent. Hold up play, makes Martinelli look better. He runs off the ball. He just makes others look better. And he reminds me of players like Dennis Bergkamp at Arsenal. He was not all about scoring goals. His job was to make Thierry Henry, Sylvain Wiltord, Ljungberg, Roy Pala, Robert Pires look good. That was his job. And as it stands, I believe Trossard is really having that element into him. And when Jesus comes back, you're going to see the magic and the importance of this guy and why this signing was really important for Arsenal. I'm giving Trossard an 8 out of 10. That's it. Very beautiful display today, and he deserves an 8 out of 10. Now, Martinelli. Guys, you know, when you are used to a player and how good he is, you know how good he is, how good he performs every time. Martinelli is a player that doesn't, not even for a second, disappoint ever since he was dropped in the game of Aston Villa. Ever since then, he came on, he scored. Game of Leicester, he scored 2 goals. But he had dropped off a lot from the World Cup. Is it the mentality of him being not used when Brazil was being knocked out by Croatia, and they brought on a different kind of player and they never brought him on? I don't know. Is it because Jesus was really making him look a better player? I don't know. But it adds up to that of Jesus because the coming in of Trossard has made him a very brilliant and better player. That is Martinelli for you. So Martinelli today scored a brace, very much active in the game, and I'm giving Martinelli 8.5 out of 10. That's it. 8.5 for Gabriel Martinelli. We go to the substitutes. Thomas Partey came on through, and obviously Everton was really buried totally. He buried them in that midfield. He won everything. It was his palace. He was the king, and the king was ruling the palace. Everton was nowhere to be seen. Partey just sent them away. He just acted like that magnet on the ball. He was like the magnet on the ball. Every time Everton was having the ball, it was like the magnet of Partey was telling them, pass it over to me. He won everything, and he made Arsenal look better because Jorginho was taken off and came on through, and it's good to see him coming in through. Play some 40 plus minutes in this beautiful game of football. That is Thomas Partey for a club of Arsenal. 7.5 for me, Thomas Partey. Fabio Vieira, 7 out of 10 for me, Fabio Vieira. Eddie Nketiah registering an assist and coming in through, 6.5 for me. Who else came on? Kientieni came in for Alexandra Zinchenko. I'm going to give him Kientieni a 6.5 out of 10. So the manager is trying to fight that feeling in him that he's not wanted at Arsenal and he's wanting to move away from Arsenal to Newcastle. And I think he's going to move because they brought him on when the game is like 4-0. So it just sends a message to you that every time the game is tight, like the game of Leicester City and Aston Villa, they bring on Tomiyasu to close down that area. So when Arsenal is needing to protect their result that is really tight, they bring on Tomiyasu. When they're leading by 3-4 goals to nil, they bring you. That's it. So I think it's evident, written on the wall, that Mikel Arteta is no longer interested in this player at a club known as Arsenal. 6.5 for me for Tierney. The manager, Mikel Arteta, 8 out of 10. I think he really got onto this game very well. He read Everton very well and obviously had to kill off the game of football. In the first 10-15 minutes, Everton looked like they are not going to allow Arsenal to go past them. But I think that movement of Zinchenko, they're having mobility that is unlimited. Every player is allowed to play anywhere at Arsenal provided he doesn't lose the ball. And the way they cover up in for him, every time Zinchenko crosses to the right, Granit Xhaka becomes the left back and he protects that side. So it shows you that he's really that player that doesn't really disappoint. So he really brought in a very good system. The mobility was really good. The way they roved and they interchanged positions, that is Martinelli and Trossard, was really very much disturbing to the back line of Everton, because you don't know who you're going to mark, because the mobility was really at a high level. Mikel Arteta, 8 out of 10 for me. So my man of the match is Gabriel Martinelli, and I've given him an 8.5 out of 10. So tell me your ratings for every Arsenal player today, and feel free to go ahead and tell me who your man of the match was today. I know most of you will go for Odegaard. There is Trossard. Some will say Thomas Partey. Others will say Jorginho. So I'm here waiting to see who you're going to give your man of the match award. Thank you guys for watching it through. I sign out for now. See you elders. Good night. Last video of the day. I sign out for now. May the Lord protect you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.